Hi, this is Andre, and thanks for checking out Synthicity. Synthicity is integrating the wisdoms of history, based on fact and truth, into present culture. Today we'll be talking about the Afterword, AI and Thesis 5, specifically about artificial intelligence, polarization, and Thesis 5. This is an additional chapter published in March 2023 after the original 30 chapters on Synthicity were published online in full in August 2018. Recall the last two diagrams and paragraphs in chapter 30. Transistor count is the total number of transistors within a computer. It serves as a fundamental metric of a computer's complexity and capability. Here we can see the exponential increase in the rate of change in transistor count in a near linear progression in a logarithmic exponential scale. Transistor counts are now in the trillions. Here we can see the exponential increase in the rate of change in evolution and society over time in a near linear progression on an exponential logarithmic scale. What is this logarithmic similarity between computer transistor count in the last 50 years and evolutionary change and societal change over the last 3.8 billion years mean? At this point in time, the similarity means that we are in the early stage of huge societal changes as a result of the digital revolution, and that it may be in our best interest to become less polarized and more rational in order to best choose our destiny as a society. That said, the convergence of human societal evolution and the transistor count digital revolution may at some point in the not too distant future, if not already, reach the point of singularity, when computers and artificial intelligence equal that of the human brain, after which computers may then surpass human intelligence. Note that artificial intelligence appears to be a major contributor to the polarization present in our society. Platforms like Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and others use algorithmic programs that learn what keeps users engaged and online, with total disregard for its impact on society. The following evidence for the impact of AI and social media on society are direct quotes from the book The Chaos Machine by Max Fisher, published in 2022. Note that these statements refer to Facebook, then and now the largest social media platform with over 3 billion users, but it also applies to other platforms. This we'll see as how they're successful. Quote, "It was a strangely incomplete picture of how Facebook works. Many at the company seemed almost unaware that the platform's algorithms and design deliberately shape users' experiences and incentives, and therefore the users themselves. These elements are the core of the product, the reason that hundreds of programmers buzzed around as we talked. It was like walking into a cigarette factory and having executives tell you they couldn't understand why people kept complaining about the health impacts of the little cardboard boxes that they were selling. Within Facebook's muraled walls, belief in the product as a force of good seemed unshakable. The core Silicon Valley ideal that getting people to spend more and more time online will enrich their minds and better the world held especially firm among the engineers who ultimately make and shape the products. Any risks created by the platform's mission to maximize user engagement would be engineered out. Some Facebook researchers appointed to study their technology's effects in response to growing suspicion that the site might be worsening America's political divisions, had warned internally that the platform was doing exactly what the company's executives had shrugged off. Our algorithms exploit the human brain's attraction to divisiveness, the researchers warned in a 2018 presentation later leaked to the Wall Street Journal. In fact, the presentation continued, Facebook's systems were designed in a way that delivered users more and more divisive content in an effort to gain user attention and increase time on the platform. Executives shelved the research and rejected its recommendations. In the summer of 2020, an independent audit of Facebook, commissioned by the company under pressure from civil rights groups, concluded that the platform was everything its executives had insisted it was not. Its policies permitted rampant misinformation that could undermine elections. Its algorithms and recommendation systems were driving people towards self-reinforcing echo chambers of extremism, training them to hate. Perhaps the most damning, the report concluded that the company did not understand how its own products affected its billions of users. Collectively, the documents gathered by a Facebook employee Francis Haugen, in congressional testimony, told the story of a company fully aware that its harms sometimes exceeded even critics' worst assessments. At times, the reports warned explicitly of dangers that later became deadly, like a spike in hate speech or in vaccine misinformation. When plenty of notice for the company to have acted, and had it not refused to do so, saved lives. In undeniable reports and unvarnished language, these reports showed Facebook's own data and experts confirming the allegation that the company had so blithely dismissed in public. Facebook's executives, including Zuckerberg, have been plainly told that their company posed tremendous dangers, and those executives had intervened over and over to keep their platform spinning at full speed anyway. In a 60-minute interview, Haugen cut the chase with clarity. She said the platforms amplify harm. Facebook knew it, the company had the power to stop it, but chose not to. And the company continually lied to regulators and to the public. Facebook has realized that if they change the algorithm to be safer, Haugen said, people will spend less time on the site. They'll click on less ads. They'll make less money. When asked what would most effectively reform both the platforms and the companies overseeing them, Haugen had a simple answer. Turn off the algorithm. We don't want computers deciding what we focus on, she said. She also suggested that if Congress curtailed liability protections, making the companies legally responsible for the consequences of anything their system promoted, they would get rid of engagement-based ranking. Platforms would roll back to the 2000s, when they simply displayed your friends' posts by newest to oldest. No AI to swarm you with attention-maximizing content and route you down rabbit holes to the unreal. We can see now that social media platforms and their AI-generated algorithms are a major contributor to the polarization present in our society. Platforms like Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and others use algorithmic programs that learn what keeps users engaged and online, keeps eyeballs on the screen, with total disregard for its impact on society. It's a digital machine. It doesn't know what it's doing. But the humans that created it did, harming society to the point now of hate, violence, and assassination. And they did it anyway, to make money. Their greed and lack of response from our lame Congress has now created a cold civil war in American society. Which brings us now to Thesis 5. Now the neurons in the human brain for many of us have been rewired, and as described in detail here, to the unreal. To answer Ben Franklin's question, we've given you a republic, can you keep it? To do so, we need a majority of the public that is informed, no more rabbit holes, synthosophic, and real. How do we do that? Refer back to chapter 29. What can we do?